and we here for the Executive Suite Champion Gold Edition. In a few short minutes, I'm going to release the compendium results for Av and How to Don, but there seems to be some discrepancies on definitions of certain terms, certain language that we got to like get underway. So if I say bars, what do we mean by bars? I consider it double entendre, the ending punch, the thing they say one, two, three, four, and then the punch is the four, and most likely, right? That's the bar to me. I kind of went through rapping ability with B Magic when he says that scheme versus conceited, moving and shooting and shooting, shooting your boys, moving the toy, keep something aluminum for you, keep the beat fresh. I brought something aluminum for you. Everything before that to me is rapping ability. The ending punch is the bar. Is there a question? Is there any discrepancy in that?
Would you
Anybody can.
consider would you consider flow part of rapping ability?
Yes. Pattern, flow pattern, rhythmic pattern, cadence, rapping ability. Yes. If we had to confine that to one term, because if we had every component broken down, it'd be like 26 or 30 different attributes to have somebody winning. So if I say you're a better rapper, better rapping ability, I think you have a better flow than that person. I think you got better cadence than that. I think you rhyme better than that person.
One of the terms you use also is
Talk to me.
fluidity, right? Like just the way that you're able to get out of certain pockets and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I do think that it's very good to distinguish the difference between great rappers and bar heavy people. Because I feel like there's people that can rap really good, but they may not be as bar heavy as like, you know what I'm saying, your abs, your nitties and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're distinguishing the difference between rapping really well and having great lyricism. So.
Yeah.
Correct. Like Calico. Calico has great rapping ability, but he's not heavy on the punches like I have or a Nitty or a Danny Myers. Facts. I can agree. I definitely agree with that.
Now, another thing that I want to see, I think there's confusion with is creativity and content. Cause again, I'm looking at the results, and to have this brother this low on creativity, what do y'all consider creativity? Talk to me.
The first thing I think of is just you know, uniqueness in your material, right? Because I feel like just since the two people we're talking about, I'll point to Hollow in this regard. I feel like some of the references and some of the ways in which he's able to approach certain things is creative in that, like, he's thinking outside of the box, whether it's the Kit Kat thing that he did with Charlie Clips, whether it's the UPS thing that he did against Lux. It's a certain level of uniqueness, a certain level of thinking outside of the box that kind of creates a level. But to me, that's what makes someone creative. I feel like a lot of times people have formats and prototypes that they can kind of look at and be like, okay, like this person fits this mold, this person fits this mold. For someone like a Hollow, he's his own like mold as a battler. Like I don't feel like you can really put him as a prototype of anything because he's so unorthodox and he's so unique. So creativity to me is just having the ability to make whatever you're doing unique and different from everyone else.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say to double on that, especially with Hollow. You look most recently like the every fucking card type of concept that he did versus Geechee. That's a creative concept. I think with Av, he might have some of the more creative wordplay, like references compared to Hollow. That maybe a little better with the wordplay, but Hollow has more creative concepts, angles that he takes that I don't think that most people would take. So that's why I would have him as more creative.
Let's keep it going. Anybody else?
I think Hollow creativity. I think in the surf battle when he said he had the line with I don't like battle. I don't like. See, that's why I don't like battle rappers with they line ass. He stepped back, went all the way to the back.
God might strike his ass.
Battle from over here, cause God about to strike your ass. That was creative. That was creative and sale to me.
Mm-hmm. So are we crediting the guys that come up with the creative punches? So there's different dynamics, but let's say somebody has a crazy punch or a crazy haymaker. You know what I mean? Like Ad with the Megalodon in the water, since he did, based off the splishy splash shit, whatever, right? How much points are we giving to that side of creativity?
Yeah, I was actually going to say, like, I definitely think that there are different forms of creativity because I think, for sure, Hollow is more creative conceptually. His creativity comes in the forms of great ideas, great concepts, great angles, great schemes. But I mean, like you said, bro, like it's the difference between taking something. Like I think a sign of something that's really, really creative is someone saying something that
Yeah.
you're surprised no one has said before. And
I'll give you
Ab be
that.
doing that all the time. Like Ab be doing that all the time, where he says something like, "Bro, how has nobody said that?"
Correct, like
The tree.
swing over the arm, like skipping my loot, and then the hangman line against chess is one of the craziest lines I've ever heard. So the creativity from Abs is out there as well. I think with Hollow though, he just do different pockets of creativity more than just a creative punch that Ab can give you. Like a creative, like even pulling out this hat. He had a hat the whole time in his pants against Tay-Rock. That's a creative idea, even though it might have didn't land. It was still a different creative pocket that you can get into more than Ab can.
Yeah, to add on to that, I think there's creativity on both sides. I think the difference is just while Av is a creative puncher, right? Hence the reason why he's one of the best punchers in the game, just because of the creative aspect he has in his punching. Hollow is able to infuse certain things that kind of like make the formatting a little bit different, whereas Av kind of has like a certain puncher's format. Hollow has a different format that is a little bit more intricate and a little bit more, like I said, unorthodox, right? Because he has a very unconventional style. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't always necessarily means unconventional means good, but those are the type of things that kind of like, point towards like a creative plane that may be different than another one. So
I gotta. My thing is how much of it is landing. I feel like Av says a lot of things. Maybe some of it's just because it's in your face and 1, 2, 3, 4 punch is kind of easy to navigate, whereas Hollow is a lot more unorthodox. How much of what's being said is actually landing?
Well, I mean, in any situation when like you're going against a puncher, right? Their landing percentage is obviously going to be a lot higher. But the thing is, it's like that's why it's high, but like high risk, high reward. Because like if you do land something that's super creative, whether it's the Kit Kat situation, whether it's the UPS situation, like that can wash out like 2 or 3 punches that a person said if landed correctly. So I understand it. Like what I'm saying, there's a time period where someone like an Av may land more like consistently, right? And Hollow may have dry spots here and there, but sometimes those big moments he's able to land can kind of wash out some of those creative punches that someone like Av can land. So.
Yeah, I wanted to add in. I do believe that it's closer than probably most people would say. And another reason that I personally edge Hollow is, like I said, I think Av might have the more creative wordplay. But like you touched on, the punching is more formulaic, kind of like 1, 2, 3, go. And also, I think Av sometimes can lean a little bit too hard into the movie references, into some references that we've heard before. And it's really like nitpicking at that point. It's not a humongous criticism, but when you talk about 2 guys of this type of talent, this type of level, those little differences, I think for something like creativity matters.
Okay. Hold on, before we continue, again, I'm new to the spaces. This is literally my first time hosting a space. How do you add a picture, an image, so we all can see? How do I do that? Or do I just tweet out the picture? That's it, and then we just go for that.
You tweet it out first, and then I believe that there's an option on the tweet itself. If you click on like the little 3 dots, and it'll have an option to like post
add
it
to the
directly
spaces.
In the space. Mm-hmm.
All right, say less.
Tweet it first, though.
Continue. We're about to upload the compendium results, which is about to get everybody in trouble because y'all are part of this. Don't sit here and run when the backlash starts to come in. Like, y'all, what's this? Nobody run. Stand patient. All right, keep going. Hold up. Let me get this results over fast. Pardon me. Again, shout out Shotgun Shook. Technical difficulties. Let me just get this right. Let me just take the raw file and do it that way. Because, when we do Champion of the Year, when we do a lot of these things, we have to stand behind results that we partially don't agree with, to be honest. So I just tweeted it out. Boom, there it is, right? The 3 dots, y'all said, the 3 dots. All right, let me see if I can add it to the spaces. I see pin to your profile. I'm not going to do that. It says add or remove from J Black's list.
No, once you tweet it, you got it takes a couple of minutes. Like, just give it a minute or so, and then the option will show up. You can share it to a space.
I mean, but y'all can see it on my tweet right now. Right?
I'm about to say, I got you. You go ahead and keep talking. I'll do it.
I appreciate that. All right. Now let's just read off these results right here. People that's just listening is not heavily in tune with what we got going on with Champion Gold and Executive Suite. First of all, the Executive Suite is where the executives talk and make decisions and really address what already happened within Champion Gold. And as of right now, I did a survey for the Compendium, and it pretty much asked all the users who was better in creative content, who was better at crowd control, who was better at impact, who was better structurally, who was more direct / tailored to the opposition, who had better performance, who had better rapping ability, who had better bars, who was the best at time given versus time taken, which means like Easy to block Captain versus Goods, right? I think Easy would do better in terms of how lengthier was his rounds versus Goods. You know, I think the second round was a little short in comparison to his opponent, whereas Easy utilized 3 minutes and 30 seconds or even 4 minutes to even 4:30. So in that regard, he would win in time given versus time taken. But these are the results. Creativity, content, 15% Av, 85% Hollow the Don. Crowd control, 28% Av, 72% Hollow the Don. Impact, 19% Av, 81% Hollow the Don. Structure, 30% Av, 70% Hollow the Don. In terms of being direct and tailored to the opposition, 28% Av, 72% Hollow the Don. Performance. 6% Av, 94% Hollow the Don. Rapping ability, 61% Av, 39% Hollow the Don. Bars, 76% Av, 24% Hollow the Don. Time given versus time taken, even 50-50. The users agreed. I asked who would win. Here's the messed up part. I asked who would win. 62% Av, 38% Hollow the Don. Executives, how do you feel? One at a time, please. Wow.
The first thing that pops out is the disparity in performance. I don't know how that there's so much of a disparity in that regard, because we just seen Av have one of his best performances on a big stage, right? And in my opinion, had the best known debut of all time against Chess. What he did against Arsenal. So I don't see why there's such a disparity there. Maybe they're going off of, like, I don't know, maybe Hollow has a longer track record, but even still, like, I can look at some type of some of Hollow's performances on the stage that weren't all that great, whether it's the John performance or the Math performance or whatever, regardless of the situation. So I'm very surprised by the disparity.
Hold on. You're surprised, but we got to put you on the spot for you to make executive decisions. You're saying all that. Who do you have as a better performer, Hollow or Av?
It's close.
You gotta pick,
because it's at the end of the day, it's what you prefer, and I feel like I'm gonna slightly edge Av in that, because I think Av is more effective on a big stage, and has been as of late. And in terms of the other categories, I have to look at it one more time. I think that in terms of creativity, like, I'm not surprised that people edge Hollow in that regard. Now the rating, right, is a little bit, it's what pretty much spawns, like, the controversy, right? So there's that. Crowd control, I'm actually quite interested in how there's such a disparity here, because I feel like, Av can command a stage, and like I said, with crowd control, right, like, Hollow has had a couple times where, like, he would lose a crowd in a certain instance, but he does have a situation, a thing where he can kind of make the crowd hang on every word that he does, because they don't know what direction he's going to go. But I don't think there should be a disparity there either. Impact, I mean, I guess with Hollow obviously being a solidified legend or whatever, he's going to win in that regard. Structure, obviously, Hollow is one of those people that kind of get revered as one of the people that can break their opponent down and stuff like that, so I can understand that. Tailored, kind of the thing is that Hollow won in every or most of the categories.
Yes,
but
he did.
Most of us have Ab winning, and I want to say that like it sounds contradictory, but there are instances where someone can like check more boxes but still lose because someone else is just so dynamic in the one thing or two things that they do. I can point to the B Magic and Charlie Clips battle, where Charlie Clips is obviously way more dynamic than B Magic, but B Magic was able to punch his head off on that stage.
Yeah.
Or something like, even though it's a close battle, this is another example I'm using, but even though it's a close battle, this time period, Matthofer versus Chilla Jones. Chilla Jones is a pretty pin-heavy guy, and Matthofer may be more well-versed in other categories, whether it's aggression, whether it's performance, charisma, and all that. But Chilla Jones has such a great pin to where it kind of like levels out the battle and makes it like a close, great battle. So there are instances where like someone can be like super versatile, but another guy can just be that much more dynamic in their one or two categories to where it's an even battle.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, or unless someone else wants to go. All right.
I definitely do.
All right, go. All right, you go first.
I'm stunned at structure and tailored for Av. I think that people are watching battlers like Av, or should I say punches, and just assuming that I only need to wait for the punch because that's all to this. I've listened to Av cater a lot of rounds directly to his opponents.
Third round versus Fonz. Yep.
I don't know how that's the number for Av, but that is way incorrect. That's not right.
Well, I will say this though. It's not like you can say, 60. Each person can say 60%, 30%. You have to pick a side, and once you pick a side, going through the system, it just says this is what it is. So if you ask 10 people who's a better performer, and 9 of them says, yo, we got this person, then that's what it is. They can't dial it down and dilute. You can't like dim the lights. You just gotta. Is it bright or is it dark?
Right. There's no gray area. So meaning
exactly.
Like, tell me if I'm following along what you mean here. Like, let's say somebody says, well, I edge Hollow.
They don't see the edge part. They don't see the edge part.
Like it's a 10-9 thing. It doesn't go that way.
Exactly.
It's just a tick mark for Hollow, and that being the case. Interesting. I think whoever's doing those compendium surveys needs to find a way to, get into that minutia of the detail. That's just my suggestion.
My fault though. Damn, you get to go back to you.
No, I was done. I think that whoever was speaking before me, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I think he kind of killed it. Not Anwar, whoever before that.
Oh, okay. M. Lang.
He killed it when he said that you can win the battle just because you got your strength at one or two things is really great, and you didn't check as many boxes as the opponent. But it makes sense to me just looking at it. But those numbers, the tailored and the structured, I completely disagree.
Yeah. Now, like I pretty much said a lot of these stuff to my peers behind the scenes. Shout out to you, let them in the chat. Like we spoke on this, and it's like when you put somebody on the spot, they kind of agree. It looks crazy. But like seeing the numbers, face value, and then talking to somebody is like, and they come to the same assessment. Like you got to think. Bars, I'll go through this myself. So just in case, shout out to Kenny. I think Kenny in the chat as well. I'm gonna go through how I feel. Bars, I'm giving that to Av. He's consistent with it. He has a high land percentage. Accuracy is on point to me. You don't get that many dry spots. I'm going bars. Av, and Av is literally one of the bar for bar, pound for pound in that regards. He's literally like one of the best. He's top 5 all time, top 3, top 2 right now. So bars, if I see 90, no offense to Hollow.
Can you define what you mean by that? Like when you say bars, be very clear on what you mean.
I think you missed the first 10 minutes. So we always got to show up to work on time. You missed the first 10 minutes. Come on, you pulled into the office a little late. But it's pretty much a double entendres, you know what I mean? It's a double entendres. Like I said, for rapping ability and bars, right? I think B Magic covered that in one simple step when he went through the against Conceited. When I'm moving and shooting them boys, I keep the beat fresh, some aluminum for you, right? The ending part is bars, the double entendre. Everything before that was great flow, cadence, rapping ability. So bars is what Av on the track, something, some Megadot in the water. That's a bar. And Av does that consistently and frequently and amazing.
But I do think Av can rap too, but not just maybe
no.
not the same way. But I just want to throw that out there. I do think
give
Av's a good rapper too.
I give him.
One comment.
Go ahead.
For my first comment, I want to start with saying Hollow is God tier, right?
Okay, I'll take that.
His status and all that unchanged, whatever. I feel like I forgot who said it, but a lot of folks be saying that Hollow's unorthodox, and
I think he is.
But I feel like sometimes unorthodox can also mean a brainstorm or unorganized. In today's time, on a big stage, Av hits hard, dog. Like, especially on the big stage, I think he did to Arsenal. I feel like in today's time, Av's, and he's not just a puncher too. He'll talk to you too, but a lot of people don't really give him credit for that. I feel like in today's time, I don't know what Hollow might have a couple angles, a couple bars that might stand out, but back to back, I feel like Av might low key kind of edge that.
I think he more than edged the bars category.
Being God tier knows how to win.
Yeah.
Say again?
No, I said definitely. I think.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said Av definitely beyond edges the bars category. If I seen a 90%,
he hits hard, and I don't think what Hollow could do to match that. Even whatever Hollow's strength is in today's time, that could outland or be more impactful than how Av haymakers back to back, especially when he was on the road. You know what I mean? Like if he had like a thunderous round, I can see Hollow doing like a Tay-Rock and matching that energy.
Yeah.
The same way. You do what I'm saying? But that's just my comment.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless he rebuttals, I think we have to also account for that too, because Hollow is still one of the better rebuttalers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, true story. He can rebuttal, but that his round would actually match if his rebuttal even hits as hard as round.
Yeah.
His written might not be.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that, I agree with that because, someone can rebuttal, but they can still lose the round. But I do think that being able to get the fans back on your side with a rebuttal and kind of pretty much stealing back the momentum does account for something. But I get what you're saying in terms of the explosiveness.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Danny Myers, none, folks like that, right? We can off the top, Geechee Gotti. We can off the top think of these are the rebuttalists right now who came back with thunder rebuttals. What was the last impactful rebuttal?
I can hear the last part you said. I'm sorry.
Danny Myers, none, DNA, Geechee Gotti. Off the top, these are the 4 people I can think of. A-Ward. These are the 5 people I can think of who had thunderous rebuttals.
Shatrez, Sharon.
Impactful rebuttal that Hollow had.
I'm not gonna lie, his rebuttaling hasn't been as potent as it been in the past 3 or 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. Av has a lot of shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm just acknowledging he still has that skill in his arsenal. That's it.
Okay. So go ahead.
I just wanted to say real quick regarding structure and performance. I think those are the 2 that stick out maybe the most. I think structure, Hollow, some people may have given Hollow kind of a legacy vote. If you view his body of work and how he's rapped since the beginning, we look at battles like Lux, Clips. Obviously, those are very precisely executed angles. So if we looked at the career as a whole, he might have had more structure, throughout. But as of recently, and you take the last 2 years, maybe their last 4 to 5 battles into account, I think Hollow's actually really lacked structure. I think when you look at the Psych I Lieds, that he which he didn't do versus Geechee, which was a great step for him. But in the 3 battles before, ending his rounds kind of weird. Jumping in and out of pockets, much more not just unorthodox, but maybe even a little more unorganized. I would say in more recent times, it's definitely close. I'd personally edge Av, but if you look at the career as a total, I kind of understood why people may have voted for Hollow. And as for performance, I think that I speak for all of us at 94-6 maybe is just kind of insane. And I think Av has even become more of a big stage battler more than anything. Emily said it earlier, his performance versus Danny, Arsenal, chess. I think he builds better momentum. You know what I'm saying? He's able to build back to back and kind of use his aggression more than Hollow is. So for those two, I actually had a Hollow winning more of the categories, and I still had Av winning in the prediction. But for those two particularly, I think it's a little slanted, at least unfairly in one direction.
I mean, I was gonna say something to just piggyback right off of that. Like the thing about specifically talking about performance, I'll do that first. Where I think again back with like what Anwar was saying, what Black was saying, like it's not like there's a gradient scale where you can say out of 10, I have as a performer of X. And I think people will think that the compendium is saying that Hollow is 9 times as good a performer as Av, and we all know that's cap.
That's
we're
definitely not saying that.
Not so just to want to make sure that that's definitely not true. But I think for me, especially when I was going through this, and then I eventually had to pick a winner, two things that I had to consider that didn't fit snugly into the rest of the categories were first, and you could kind of fit into structure of time taken or time given, which is the who can construct an unbeatable round more consistently. And I think that's a thing that Av has obviously been showing, that he can construct an unbeatable round, like not because it's hard to make that kind of round, but his rounds are so crazy, like where if you're not at that level or even close, bro, it's gonna look bad. It's gonna get dark. So I think that's a reason that I put Av over Hollow, because if you were to ask me there's going to be one unbeatable round out of these 6. I'm going to give it to Av 99 days out of 100. And that's just because of his style leans more towards that style of creating a round. So, which is why I would kind of say that, Av would probably be able to beat Hollow if you were to and obviously you did ask me, because there it is. So, and then the second point, and we were kind of talking about crowd control, creativity, and stuff like that. But I do think that we do need to, again, acknowledge the fact that, Av has gone out of his way to show that he is much more than a puncher. Go look at that B-Dot battle, bro. He was really talking to B-Dot in his own way, but the reason why people, didn't really... Because Av is such a crazy puncher that when he adds new tools that aren't as up there, then people think that tool is negligible, when it's nah, he might be a 10 out of 10 in terms of punching, but now in terms of directness and being able to talk to you, that's like an 8, which, you know how many battle rappers would kill to have that kind of skill set just to be able to do that? So I think we really need to acknowledge those two things.
Okay, first of all, I don't know what's going on. People saying happy birthday. It's not my birthday today, so that's to get that out the way.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, happy birthday, Black.
That's crazy. I'll take that. Yeah, rapping. I gave bars and rapping ability respectfully to Hollow, but clearly to Av. And I think, not trying to undermine this entire process, but bars and rapping ability at the end of the day is over everything else. So I'm not 100% confused as to why, he loses 8 different categories, or y'all still got him winning, because, again, you got to rap. You got to have bars. No matter what you want to do, those two things got to be on point. You could have the best, crowd control, impact, structure, tailored, but if that doesn't intertwine with bars, rapping ability, you about to lose. Nah, you about to lose. Go ahead.
To kind of piggyback off of what you said and the last two guys said, I feel like Hollow's style of rap, it works more for his class. Now, we've all been in the game, whether fans as battle rappers or whatever personalities, for 10 plus years. The game is a bit more advanced now. So, when you have people like Ad talking about new Lion King, you see that Scar much.
Versus JC. I was there in person. Oh my God.
It was a monster back in the day. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like stature-wise, impact, and I feel like Av would be low-key too much for Hollow. Now, Hollow was still, I got a low-key gentleman's 30. But Hollow can still do his thing because he's still Hollow, he's still God to you. But I feel like the way they stuffing a lot of substance in their bars these days.
Yeah.
And Av kind of has the more advanced, and he would live up to that stage and that presence. I don't think with today's like front runners.
Whoa! We gotta defend Hollow a little bit here. You saying front runners? Hold, we got it. This is the executive suite. This ain't a normal. We got stats, so we got facts and everything up here.
You don't have to knock Hollow, right? I'm not knocking Hollows.
Rum Nitty.
But do you agree?
K-Shine, Geechee Gotti.
Right, Geechee right now is you would agree. Let's say prior to Gnome, Geechee was or is the face of battle rap, right? He still is. All right. So if Hollow do you think Hollow cleared Geechee? Let me ask that. Now I'm glad you asked me that. Everyone's saying that Geechee's redundant. I actually feel like because when Geechee and Hollow's announced, everybody was like, where the fuck this come from? I feel like Geechee didn't have a drive to kill Hollow because whatever he would have got from Hollow, he got from killing Lux. That's why I feel like Geechee kind of came on cruise control. Hollow won for sure. He might have like a low-key debatable 30 over Geechee. But I feel like there was no real drive for
not that third.
Geechee to punish him. If it was Hitman, you would have got a different Geechee. That's how I honestly feel.
Sorry, Anwar, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's one of those things. I'm a same energy guy, man.
Yeah.
And the same way, like I'm not giving Geechee no excuse. I'm not taking them because this is the thing, right? One of the things that people have said about Geechee his entire career, when he gets those super big name guys, he has debatables or losses. Arsenal, Hollow,
hey, listen, Anwar, you gotta stop right now because he gonna have another Anwar bar. I don't want him to have another bar about you.
Geechee has never really been known. Geechee's rise wasn't because he was beating niggas. It was just the fact that the battle was so monstrous and impactful. That's not really Geechee's thing about winning battles.
No, Geechee was winning battles. Geechee was winning battles.
I don't know about 2018. His first Cody run, he
was winning battles.
He stood in front of a T-top where he arguably won.
You said what?
You don't think he had a winning record in 2018?
Chess. Geechee was winning.
I think that was in 2019 though. But I was saying like in his first run, he had JC, right?
Won that.
Had T-top. He had K-Shine. He had RP to Tech. He had Tech.
Won that.
And then even before that, right? His first major test to me was when he battled Av on the traffic card. So I can't say that like
his
rise was just having debatables because at the end of the day, he still was like garnering up some key wins to get to 2019, the second run, where he was having their debatables with the Arsenals, the Surfs, and the stuff like that.
Hollow's tier though. What's his record? From Hollow to
he's 1-1.
Charlie Quinn.
He's 1-1.
Losses.
He beat
I'm not gonna say you said his entire rise, and that's where I have a discrepancy. So I feel like
I'm talking about Hollow's tier though.
2018 is just as important as 2019 to me.
But he didn't have no God years in 2018.
He went from battling just in his backyard to going to different regions, battling like JC. In that moment in time, him and JC was a huge battle. This was his first out of town battle, so that was a huge battle. And then after that, you battle a T. And then after that, you battle, a Tech, and then you battle K-Shine that had Champion of the Year implications. Even though Black didn't want it to be that way, it still had Champion of the Year implications. So like I said, between him and K-Shine,
yeah,
I had him second and third in a very close battle.
You said it was debatable though?
Yes, it's debatable.
Him and Charlie Clips, who you had winning?
He won by default because Clips choked in the third.
But do you see how people have Clips winning though?
A win is a win. A win is a win.
It's like, what are we doing?
A win is a win. Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious. Don't matter if you win by inch or a mile. You win. You win. A win is a win.
Right,
it's a W.
I'm saying because of debatable
his whole career. Like Goods is known for that. To have debatable, but you can't say he lost either. So it's kind of like it's hard to throw Geechee in this whole conversation about Hollow and Av right now. Anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of traction. Traction. Let's get back to Hollow versus Av.
I'm got Hollow in this chat. Seemed like.
Yeah, well, the one thing I was going to say about Hollow is that, and another thing I kind of disagreed with is that, you pretty much said that he pretty much doesn't have like the style to kind of mesh with like today's like battle rap. But if you really look at it, if he hasn't mastered today's battle rap, then how is he able to beat a Nitty? How is he able to beat, you know what I'm saying, a K-Shine, even though the battle was, for the most part, an underwhelming battle. But, like, imagine him when he finally figures it out to the fullest extent. He just said that him versus Geechee is this time of, like, him finally, like, knocking the rust off and understanding what works and what doesn't. So I can't say that, like, his style doesn't work when he's winning. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will agree with is that it seems to me that his style is a little bit more accessible in the small room. That's one thing I can say, because I feel like the way that he raps is more of a style for the small room than the big stage. It just so happened to work in this aspect because he was able to infuse a couple other things. But I can't fully say that, like, his style is not meant for this generation when he's able to pull off a couple of wins against the more prominent battlers of today's generation.
Can I ask a question real quick? I agree with something I thought about. I'm actually kind of interested to see what y'all think, and I know Onward talked about this a couple of times on Champion. I forget, it might have been Mark, I forget. But who do y'all think really be getting, like, who is maximizing their time in a round? Because I think that's a really big important thing that Av has, where Av will literally, like, get the most out of 230. Like, Av will pack those rounds in, where Hollow, he's a much more long-form narrative type of battler. He likes to stretch shit out. He likes to, go on a little bit of a roller coaster ride. But if you let's say if you confine, not that this will be the case, but if you confine both battlers to 230 with a hard cutoff, like, Av is going to smoke Hollow. Because Av, the way he writes, is way better at condensing all of his content. And I think
So hold on. I have to ask you then, because this is the problem that I have with the Compendium, and we talk about structure, and the way you broke it down is kind of how I thought everybody would perceive it. So who do you have for structure, Hollow or Av? Based on what you just said, you had Av. Okay, I had Av as well.
Because that's how I thought about it,
and it's 30-70 in favor of Hollow to Don.
You said what?
So it's 30-70 in favor of Hollow to Don. In terms of structure, like, again, if you compare their last two battles, right, Av versus Dane, like you said, in 3 minutes he got everything. He got everything needed, everything intended. Hollow versus Geechee, I feel like in a lead up, like the first couple of seconds, the first 30 seconds, his bottom half was amazing. You know what I'm saying? His bottom half of his round was, oh shit, he's heating up. Got to the resume. Second round, he warms up and then goes out the gate. Av is pop, 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 pop. So I'm giving structure to Av, in my opinion.
I'm pretty sure that I put Av. I don't remember, but and then
I can find out.
I thought I had it wrong when people pulled up, because that's how I thought about it. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I didn't register for this until yesterday, so I did it this morning, I think.
Okay.
But, like, because to me, I definitely thought about that when I was picking a winner. I was like, all right, if I did this wrong, I'm definitely thinking about it for the winner, because to me that matters. Like especially on a big stage, which is why I think I personally think that lately Av is better on a big stage than Hollow. Like, he just is. So
okay,
that's where I'm at.
Something else I want to add in defense of Hollow, actually, even though I do have Av winning, is there is the old kind of, narrative that we have. Narrative is probably the wrong word, but, a substance and anglers, possibly get over on punchers. We've seen that a lot. If we look at Av's last two battles, versus guys that I think are very substance driven versus B-Dot and DNA, where it's more topic rap than it is bar for bar. I think it might have been a little over-glorified how he lost to both, but I do think he lost to both of them clear. And Hollow, while obviously isn't exactly like either of those battlers, is in that kind of topic or angle-based kind of section, in my opinion. So I do think he has that going for him, where there is the chance that Hollow can diffuse Av's punching, if given the time in the battle. So just in defense for him, I could see that happening.
Okay, so I kind of been waiting, because I think I'm the only one who's going to defend Hollow here, who has Hollow winning this battle. I mean, you kind of touched on what I was going to say. It's hard for me to kind of remember where punchers just be killing these anglers or people who are creative and witty with these bars and this different, like, nature. And I know y'all saying, like, time given. Of course, a rapid puncher is going to hit more in a 230. But we on Summer Madness, ain't nobody rapping for 230. Ask Easy and Goods. Ain't nobody rapping for no 230.
Well, we're not saying that he raps for 230, because when he battled Danny, he didn't rap for 230. He rapped for 3:30.
So with that being said, right? So if you're gonna say time given, of course punchers are going to look like, oh yeah, he used more because he hit here, he hit here, he hit here. Like, I guess, but when you're looking at it, if he wins 7 out of these categories and we're still picking Av to win, I feel like this day and age kind of just loves punches. I think that's where we kind of fall at. We just kind of love a payment, a punch. We just love that. Like, when does Hollow like just lose like that? We got the Mav loss and we got the John loss, but those are kind of like personal things. And DNA was a personal one. It's personal things. When it's just a regular battle and these people don't know from each other from a can of paint, Hollow don't be losing.
Well, this might be a regular battle for Hollow, but it's not a regular battle for Av, though.
Personally, like them knowing each other, like personally, like DNA was a Queens thing. You know, Math and Hollow, they knew each other personally. Like those type of things. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just taking that particular edge of it. Like, and when you talk about structure and like Taylor structure for sure, Av got it. But like Taylor,
well can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah. So by that logic, right? Hollow's style would lean more towards battling people that he has material and things to talk about. So then, why would he be better against people that he doesn't have things to talk about? Like that doesn't.
Now that question, I don't know why he falls apart doing people he don't like. He got personal things with. But I'm saying for this battle, this particular battle, not talking about any other battle, this particular one, I don't see how Hollow loses this battle.
You don't see how Hollow. I can see how Hollow wins the battle, and I can see how Hollow loses the battle. Just look at Av versus Danny.
I just don't see it.
Av would have beat a lot of people with that.
With what? What'd you say? Which battle?
Av versus Danny, any given Sunday, big room.
That's Danny. That ain't Hollow. And Hollow beat Danny. Even though we're not comparing battles, Hollow beat Danny.
So I
just don't see it.
I believe Hollow versus Danny is a debatable battle.
Hollow versus Danny is debatable. And if I'm not mistaken, I did a review and I said Danny won that. But go ahead.
He said how punches only do good on within 230s and not on big stages. Tay-Rock and T-Top will prove otherwise.
I didn't say they don't do good on big stage. I'm saying the part y'all said about the 230 is what I said about the punches. They gonna be more like time given was what I'm saying. I think punches do great on big stages. That's where they shine at the most. Versus like a small room, which is why Hollow beat Nitty in the small room.
When it goes
Whoa, we got the robotic.
Vice versa.
You was going in and out, Brusky. You was going in and out.
You had the Iron Man. Say it again.
The Iron Man.
I'm saying your mic was messed up for a second. It was robotic.
Oh, my fault.
You good now? You good now? You good?
There's battles where the punchers, i.e. Tay-Rock and T-Top, can drown out the angle. There's definitely battles like Hollow and Nitty where the angles override the punches. So it goes both ways. But we're talking about Hollow and Av. And my question is, if we say Av is better for some reason at something than Hollow, why do y'all take it at that Hollow's not good at that? We're comparing it to Av, though. We're not saying Hollow's not good at that, just compared to Av, it could be a little bit of a toss-up.
For me, I think it's a lot more simpler than all this. I think Hollow is just a risk taker with his material. It's not structured very well. I feel like he jumps in and out of different pieces of written material throughout the round. I've seen him freestyle when he feels like, okay, this direction isn't working. I'm going to switch it up and do something else. Whereas though Av, it's a lot more structured. It's catered directly to his opponent. I still don't understand. I'm still mad at those numbers from earlier. I just feel like Av is going to get more done within the time restraints where he can be the victim of his own genius. Like, you get so focused on how powerful the punch is, you forget that the structure of the setup was catered to the opponent. And you get lost in that. So that can hurt Av as well because people forget what he wrote prior to the punchline. I just feel like Av is he's just got it down as far as beating Hollow. I just feel like he would have it.
For me,
another real quick. Another reason why I think Av, on top of picking up a New Era podcast, another reason I think Av is going to take this because what it would mean for battles he can call out after Hollow. But go ahead.
Now, what I was going to say was being a fan of Av and Hollow's unpredictability might actually have him edge the battle. But then, like somebody said before, his structure, Av has incredible structure. Yeah, you might not remember the setup to the punch, but the punch, swing over rock, like skip to my look. Like, Av got some incredible punches, but Hollow's unpredictability and him now getting back in stride with the DNA loss and now the Geechee win, this could be a debatable battle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want to add to what Richard said as well. I think that with motivation, not necessarily Hollow's lack of motivation. Yeah, I think he's motivated. He's talked about getting his love for the
back.
game.
Yeah, he's back.
Back.
I'm saying, yeah, you're right. He's back.
Yeah, but I think for Av, I mean, we're talking about a guy, especially, last year I thought that he asked, he was definitely campaigning for some of those higher up plates. We're talking about a guy that's a Hall of Fame talent in my eyes already and hasn't battled a Rock, a Surf, a Calico, and, a Hollow Don in that list too. So to finally get this opportunity where he gets that God tier look, I'm seeing a guy that I can't see Hollow matching his hunger, and I could see an Av coming back like an Av versus Chess or an Av versus Danny, where he just is. It's one of the better Avs. I think the battle just means more to him, and I could see him bringing the best version of himself as opposed to Hollow.
Yo.
A hidden button they're trying.
Hey, yo, am I able to jump in here real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
All right, cool. Yo, my ad is at Detroit Dave. Mm-hmm. I'm a sneaker guy, but I'm in here to discuss my thoughts on this Hollow situation. I just been kind of listening to kind of get a better idea of exactly what's going on here.
Yeah. And
so I didn't really want to speak too much, but I did want to jump in just to add my little 2 cents on this battle. I'm one of the few people, from what I'm hearing, that actually does believe that Hollow can and will win this battle. Obviously, I can see Av can win the battle. A couple of guys a few minutes, or maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, had mentioned his performance versus Arsenal. I mean, I think that's Av's best performance, obviously up under the Rum Nitty performance. I love that battle. Like, I've watched that battle. I don't know why it's not on YouTube. I've watched that battle probably 4 times, and that's one of Av's best performances. So I actually gave performance to Av. However, with structure, my thing is, Hollow is known for being unorthodox. In my opinion, that in itself says that Hollow doesn't really have a structure to his rounds. So for me, I agree with that. For me, I would say Hollow being unorthodox is a lack of structure. So I would think that Av has a better structure. But overall, I just feel like Hollow has enough tools to be able to do more and leave you feeling like he won that battle versus Av. And my man, last thing, and I'm going to get off here. My man said Hollow beat Danny. He's wilding, bro. What? Danny killed Hollow in that battle.
I wouldn't say kill.
I'm
out. He said I'm out. He said I said what I said and I'm out. No. But I think in terms of. Hold on. Oh yeah. He did that hot take and I'm out. No,
I actually had a question for Justin real quick because so you pretty much saying that you see that in the categories, right? Hollow's checking more of the boxes than Av is, right? But we still have Av winning, so that obviously means that we value punching more than any other category. I don't think that's the case. Like I said before, it's a person can be more versatile but still lose because another person is just so dynamic in those 2 things that they do. And I feel like that's a prime example because I feel like at the end of the day, Hollow has the ability to do many things that Av doesn't really do often, but the potency in his punching and the potency in the way he's able to land his material is what makes him so dangerous. Like, we're talking about a guy, like, for instance, right? Hollow, if you look at, like, let's say what do you think is his best attribute when we're speaking to Hollow? Like, what's his best attribute? Okay, freestyle ability. Okay, that's one of
his best attribute,
right? And I'm sorry.
Freestyle for Howard and Don, his best attribute is freestyle ability.
In my opinion,
I was asking him. I have.
Well, I never answered. I wouldn't say freestyle ability. I would say creativity and wittiness of his bars.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Wittiness.
There you go.
Okay.
Wittiness.
I agree.
I think redirecting the round is his best attribute.
Okay. All right. So, and I agree with that. I feel like when you have somebody that is good at a lot of different things, but don't really excel in one thing, that can either really help them or really harm them, right? Because I feel like if you have somebody that's super dynamic, because we're talking about Av, and Av is practically a top 5 puncher of all time. So that means that, like, he's of the upper echelon in his category. So there's gonna be times where the one thing that he excels at is gonna overpower maybe the other 5 things that someone else can do. But there's also going to be times where the all-aroundness and the versatility will overpower, like, that one particular thing if they're not at their maximum ability. We've seen it before. Like when Av went against DNA, I feel like Av had good material, but DNA was able to do so much more to where it drowned out the material that Av had. But I feel like if you put that on a major stage where you're playing towards Av's strengths, you know, his presence, his performance, his cadence, his bars, right? Like, I feel like that's the reason why, like, and I think we're all thinking of this battle being a big stage battle too.
Correct.
Or am I misunderstood? So I feel like
Big stage. I would say big stage.
Okay.
I'm pushing. I want this to be on Sir Madness. That's what I want.
Right. So if we're going off of that logic, that's why. Like, I'm thinking in that realm. So.
All right. So I'm gonna give you my surf bag. You know, always bring it back to basketball.
Oh, here we go.
Right?
A better comparison is wrestling, but I'll let you do basketball.
I think a better comparison would be boxing.
Yeah, I'm about to say boxing.
Boxing is the best. Boxing is the best. But I'm gonna get you my surf bag. We compare Michael Jordan and LeBron. LeBron is the better all-around player, and people consider him the GOAT. But it's two sides of basketball. Offense and defense. Offensively, we probably all, together think Jordan's a better offensive player than LeBron. Defensively, only one of them got a Defensive Player of the Year award, and one of them made defensive all-pro 10 times. So if we take the two things of basketball, Michael Jordan beats him at. But we all think LeBron may be a better player than him because he's an all-around better player. That's to your whole all-around.
That argument kind of flawed, low-key. I'll let you rock.
I'm about to say, in word to Tony, bro, one of my favorite analysts, those are transient properties, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm about to say, I get what you're saying, though. I kind of try to stay away from basketball because, there's some things that work and then there's some things that don't. But I get what you're saying. I think when we look at, again, the categories, right, we're acknowledging the fact that Hollow is more dynamic in other categories. But we're also acknowledging the fact that Av is second to none in his realm of what he does, too. And sometimes being potent in what you do and mastering what you do, like what did Bruce Lee say? It's better to do one kick 1,000 times than to do 1,000 kicks once. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like that's the reason why, like, people are comfortable with saying that Av could be the Hollow.
So I guess to kind of like put it into a sentence, what I'm hearing, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, you will, but I'm just saying, is the way this reads to me from an analyst perspective, the fact that we have these two bars and rapping ability, and that basically being the reason that Av wins, is that Hollow doesn't do anything as good as Av punches. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm hearing. Is that Hollow?
It's
I wouldn't quite say that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what these numbers are saying. These numbers are saying the reason why Av is winning is because nothing that Hollow does, he does as well as Av punches. And because punching and rapping and has bars, like, is such a huge factor, that would cause him to win. That is what these numbers are saying. Now, that's not necessarily how I feel, but that's what these numbers are saying. They're saying that Hollow don't do nothing as good as Av punches, which
I agree with that. However, I don't know what the fuck Hollow is gonna rap about standing in front of Av. What are you about to say? What is there to say?
I mean, this is why they get paid the big bucks.
Did you know he's gonna rap about against Geechee?
That's about to say, yeah, exactly. That's kind of a.
You're not gonna know what Hollow's about to rap about, but Hollow attributes can take the attention away from Av. That's what Hollow does good on big stages.
But I mean, if we felt like that, why the numbers don't say that? The number says Av is still gonna out-rap this nigga.
I really think it's the punchline thing to me. That's just. I think people just really caught up in like punching, but punching could be diffused, and Hollow have the attributes to diffuse punches. And then there's one thing we're not gonna say that Hollow is good overall and a lot of attributes, but he does have a OP attribute. Just like Av has a OP attribute as a punching, Hollow has an OP attribute as freestyling and wittiness. He can freestyle and his wittiness can, and he also have performance too. He also performs. So it's a lot of things that Hollow can do that can take the tension off of just Av's punching. But Av has to consistently punch heavily to beat Hollow. If he has too much of a long, because punches do have dry spots. Everybody has dry spots, but I think punches are more accustomed to having dry spots in certain areas. So,
what was the last freestyle Hollow did that you remember?
Hollow haven't freestyled in a while.
He had a rebuttal against Geechee. If you watch it, I forget the exact. He had a rebuttal versus Geechee Gotti.
But did it shake anything though?
You're saying shake as far as what Danny and None do?
Cool, but did it like move something?
No, A4 rebuttals don't shake the room every single time. Most of the time they do. I ain't gonna cap on that. Most of the time they do. Most of the time they do, but all of them don't. Chef Trez, when he was 3 things, always didn't shake the room. But
that's all I'm saying.
So I got a question for everybody. I kind of want to see what everybody thinks. You got 6 rounds of material. We're gonna ignore how long you think the materials or rounds are gonna be. Who's gonna have the best round? Like, because I think that's a thing that, like, who has the potential to have the best round out of 6 between them? Because I think that's gonna determine. Like, if that's not, I don't see how you can come up with a winner if you don't have that in mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think actually, I'm picking Hollow to win the battle. I actually think Av will have the best round. I think Av first.
Definitely
shake the building. I think Av first.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen plenty. Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
Oh no, they definitely add. Everyone says acknowledge the fact that, but Geechee's third round, the round that everybody talks about. So I feel like it's definitely added.
Yeah, no, I've seen countless times where Hollow have not had the best round but still won the battle. Like, prime example, Sue Surf had a crazy first round, and Hollow wrote uphill and was able to seal the second and third. The Tay-Rock battle is debatable to me. Tay-Rock has the round of the battle, but some people edge Hollow that battle. So
first and
again,
third.
I wouldn't be surprised if Av was to have the best round of the battle, and Hollow still end up winning. So,
hey, I want to jump in here real quick. If I can ask a question.
Hold up.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. So, I believe that question that you asked all of us, this is my mind state, and I may be wrong because a lot of people jumped in and just answered the question, right? But with me being a JC fan, I think of battles like this. It depends on, do you mean the better written round, or do you mean the round that had more punches, the round that had more crowd reaction being the better round? So, with that being the case, I feel like Av will have a better round as far as reaction-wise and obviously punch-wise. But if Hollow has a round like you wrote for Lux, where he was just dynamic as far as speaking directly to his opponent, I feel like that could be a better round, although it may not get the same type of crowd reaction. So that would just be what I would want to throw in. And I'm glad you said something about that surf battle, bro. I don't understand how so many people got surf winning that battle when Hollow second and third clearly was better. But, that's just me.
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all feel like, okay, is Hollow winning these battles because somebody just said, this person has the better round, but Hollow edged the other two rounds? Like, do you feel like Hollow is clearly winning these rounds, or his opponents are not having really good rounds outside of the one? Like, I feel like K-Shine had a bad night. I feel like Rum Nitty wasn't the Nitty we expected. I feel like he was choppy versus DNA, was all over the place, and a nasty battle. Like, I don't feel like he's dominating.
But the question will come up that
I did think his Geechee performance was impressive because Geechee to me, Geechee had a good first round. You know what I'm saying? He had his every effing bar first round, right? But then Hollow, you know what I'm saying, fights back in the first round or whatever. Hold up.
If we got 4 different or a sample size of many different battle rappers, can we say Hollow is the reason why he disrupts the energy and makes the battle what it is to make them perform the way they did? Could he be the reason why they're confused on what to talk about? When he sits down with K-Shine and does in a face-off and say what he says and do this and says that, when he sits down with Arsenal and said I got to pack it, I got this and that, is he the reason that he's disrupting them to making them have a performance that they do? On top of that,
for him, because I might be in the minority here. I actually had him losing some more of his recent. I think that Geechee and the Rum battles are debatable. I accept that, especially with Geechee. I think the consensus goes for him. But one thing about Hollow is that it's rare. I think the DNA battle was such a rarity too. He doesn't really beat himself, pause if necessary. But at the minimum, if Hollow's going to have a round, he's going to be jabbing. We talk about the wittiness. It's not exactly haymakers, but he's gonna keep jabbing, landing witty, clever lines. So by the end of the round, if somebody does Geechee second has like a missed angle or someone has an air ball, overthinking it, you could say, at the very least, Hollow's going to give you a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 rounds. So he's not exactly dominating all the rounds he wins, but it's rare that he gives you a 0. You need to at least do something to make that round debatable or be good. So I just think it's a certain level of consistency in jabbing that he keeps doing. So I don't think he beats it clear, but it's consistency.
I agree with that.
Exactly. And everybody keep referencing, like, Buddy, I think it's Spaghetti, whatever his name is, mentioned Hollow and Lux. And how long ago was that? When was the last time? I think it's Big T, Lux, and then who was the next dominant performance that Hollow had after that people talk about?
People like his Pat Stay performance. I know.
Right? Dominant performance after Lux was Charlie Clips.
He had good Charlie Clips. The first round, though. Not the whole battle.
The second round, too. He won 2 rounds, bro.
I thought his second round was crazy. What we doing here?
And honestly, how long ago was that?
And honestly, on the watch back,
so it was 7 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. As of late, has Hollow had a dominant performance? He's 30 niggas, but has he had a dominant performance though?
Look who's he battling though. Can we talk about that? He's battling K-Shine, Nitty, Geechee Gotti,
We talk about this
DNA.
all the time on the podcast. You are battling the top battlers in the world. You don't just 30 people every night. That's extremely difficult, not only to do, but to even consider that somebody is catching strings of 30s. It don't work like that.
He has 30s.
Correct. And, people remember buzzer beaters more than they remember blowouts. Just putting that out there. Another basketball reference, sorry.
No, I'm saying, he has 30s, though. I think he 30 K-Shine. I feel like he 30 clearly beat Nitty. So I'm not taking that he's not been dominating. I'm saying as a...
You said he 30 Nitty?
Huh?
You said he 30 Nitty?
I said he beat Nitty.
Oh, okay.
And K-Shine Nitty in today's time is these are the monsters. That's what I'm talking about. Dominating niggas. Ab dominates his competition. But that's just...
So basically, your strong point is Hollow as of recently haven't shown
to be the old Hollow that we're accustomed to seeing.
No, I'm saying Ab is a monster in today's time. And
Yeah.
I can't. And can Hollow beat Ab? Of course he can. He's God tier as of my opening statement. He's one of the gods. I'm talking about today's time, and Ab is hungry. And what this would mean for Ab going forward, because he's always talking about how all the top tiers is ducking him from Verb and Simone niggas. What this would mean for Av compared to what this mean for Hollow, I can't see Hollow really climbing that mountain. Can he do it? Of course he can. But I'm just saying, compared to the monster in front of him, that's all I'm saying.
Now, real fast. Does anybody have a backstory? Because if I'm not mistaken, on PSA Hip Hop, Hollow Don is actually calling out Av now. So can anybody speak? Anybody know what's happening here? Why is Hollow calling out Av? I thought Av initially wanted that matchup.
Well, I know Av had been calling out Hollow for a while.
Yeah.
They've exchanged shots particularly remix. So Twitter, I think too. I think that Av called him out multiple times, and now you got Hollow versus Geechee talking about he wished he died when he had COVID or whatever. So I think it's becoming more of a grudge match than we thought originally going.
Oh, it's beyond. I didn't know that. I didn't know it's beyond battle rap.
Nah, you know how Hollow now Black. You've been in the culture for a minute.
Yeah.
Now remember when Hollow used to have like them gory parts of his rounds where he's like, "I hope you stick your hand in a blender." Shit, yeah, that's what he's going back to. He said that on the PSA interview.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yep.
Is Hollow? Now here's my question for everybody. By the way, I'm sorry. You can call me Mahalo or Machete. I answer the both.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel like Hollow is extremely good? He's the best Hollow when he disarms you in the first round, like he did Clips.
That was a masterpiece.
Yeah, that was a masterclass right there.
Perform a style breakdown. I feel like that's when Hollow's
God dang
at his best. So it could be in the first round, but it could be.
I agree with that. I think it don't matter what round it's in.
Now, see, this is why I say it's the first. If Hollow goes first in the first round, it's almost like you setting up your jab for your straight punch.
Exactly.
And, oh damn, okay, damn, we do see that from Clips. Oh wow, and it's like it kind of like. I'm not gonna say it minimizes it, but it kind of puts a chink in your armor.
Yeah, it definitely worked very good at versus Clips. But who else beyond that did it work? Did he do that particular style against?
I'll be honest, he kind of hinted at it with Geechee, because I remember he started off the battle and he was like, I know dead people too, Geechee. Like that type of thing, because that's what Geechee rap about.
That was hard.
So like he kind of did it with Geechee as well.
I'm in the minority. I had it 1-1 going into the first, as I like to call it. First is debatable to me. So I edged Geechee that battle, but I know I'm in the minority.
I had Hollow. I know exactly what you're saying when you said 1-1 going into the first. It was like that until he got to the resume part in the first round. Once he hit that resume, at 16, at 17, I'm like, oh, you got it now. I'll give it to you. You got it. That's how I got him 2-1.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like it's like, Hollow, you better than that. But it's not that it wasn't good. I just felt like he was better than that. So I didn't give that a lot of points. Mm-hmm. But I understand if you got and win in the first. That's cool.
Okay.
I was going to add for Av, particularly the matchup, something he did versus Geechee that I think he might need to tighten up a little bit, particularly for Av, is that there's a couple lines in the first, like they won't even give a Christian bail. And there's a couple lines, but we're not asking, all the writing to be, OBC is kind of already a part of battle rap. We hear some repeated bars all the time. But I think versus Av, when you're going to verse a guy that we talk about the creativity in his punches, he really is a mad creative and very good writer. You don't want to get too caught up in using maybe some concepts we've heard, and then Av is able to show like a very visual difference in terms of writing. So I think that's something that he did a little bit versus Geechee that he could tighten up for this particular matchup.
Okay. We got any more closing statements, Hollow Don versus Av, if it happens, before we move on to the next situation?
It's going to be a monster battle.
Okay. If it happens. We got to talk to Av. This Hollow seemed like he won it. Anybody else? We done? Are we done here?
I think we're done.
All right. And that's the compendium. So, I asked my executives, moving forward, y'all pretty much have the say in what's next. what are the next people that we run through the same process? Any suggestions? Y'all talk to me.
I like Geechee. Well, I don't know if they battling no more. Never mind. I was gonna say Geechee and Hitman, but Hitman said he don't think the battling happening no more. So.
Hey, yo, I definitely got one, but I don't think people gonna like it though.
Again, we can choose matchups that's actually like Geechee Gotti versus Diz is a matchup that's gonna go down. We can do that one. You know what I'm saying? We can do a lot of things. It don't gotta be just what ifs, or we can even do battles that already went down.
Well, I got a big what if I would like to suggest.
Talk to me.
I would love us to do a compendium on JC and Loaded Lux.
Ah!
Oh Lord,
I would love us to do that. Hey, I told y'all, listen, I'm a JC guy. Like, that's the only battler that I'm, like, upfront, honestly, admittedly biased for. Like, that's my guy. I mean, I rock with Cal and a couple other guys, too, but JC is my guy. I've been calling this, like, it's tweets I've made 5 years ago trying to get Lux and JC. So, let's do this compendium, man, because I don't think Lux going to do as well as people think, man.
And what do you mean by that? What side you talking on? That's not. Hold up. Now you about to turn this executive suite to something else.
It's definitely time for Lux to see a pen. I'll say that. So my original suggestion, I was going to say, I know there's a lot of talk around it. Easy versus Calico would be another really good one for the Compendium. But I'm gonna be real. After hearing JC versus Lux, that's definitely something I'd be interested to break down with everybody.
That's still not the biggest battle.
Talk to us.
It's got. I've been saying this since last year, bro. Easy to block Captain versus Sue Surf.
Surf is
the biggest battle you can make right now. That battle is going to take the roof off of whatever building is in.
That's what I said. I try to put a champion video out there.
I'm not asking for this day and night. That is the one. I promise you it's the one.
That's what I was saying. Easy came a champion. I'm like, yo, what about Surf?
He knows that. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I was gonna say. Actually, no. Let y'all finish, and then I'll say mine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's exactly why it hasn't happened yet. Is because they know that everybody wants it. Without Cal, might see Clish and Tay-Rock, then keep building up to him and Surf.
Let it build up to him and Surf. They can go now. They don't need to build up.
Fully agree.
There's no need for a build up for Surf and for Easy. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me ask y'all really think with the two competitors that they're gonna take it easy because they on the same team?
You out here.
I think the battle will be better.
Easy to block.
They not about to let up.
I'm not serious right now.
They not about to let up.
I like a couple more Surf battles than those, to be honest. Like, I would much rather see, like, I don't know where it is now, obviously, because of the demand for it has kind of dropped, but I was more interested in Surf versus B-Dot or Surf versus Chess, because I think back to, he's been calling Chess his protege for years. Like, I think back to the night before Volume 5 or whatever, Chess is like, I'm the only one that can beat you or whatever. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like Surf and Easy, it makes sense in terms of status, but we all like backstories. We all like the story that builds up into the battle. And I feel like Surf versus B-Dot, right, and Surf versus Chess are two battles I'll probably be more interested in than Surf versus Easy. That's just my opinion, though.
So y'all don't want to see Surf and Goods no more?
Oh, shit. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
What happened with him and Easy?
I need Goods to come back on.
I still kind of want to see Surf and Goods.
I still do, too. I still want to see Surf and Goods. I agree.
Hey,
I still want to see why not.
Yo, can I just respond real quick to I believe that was Damn I'm Wild that asked that question real quick, just to respond to you. No, I'm not saying that they're gonna take it easy on each other just because they're on squads. I'm not saying that at all. We can look back all the way to 2014 when Writer's Block was battling each other and they was trying to take each other's heads off. So I'm not saying that. We can even go to last year when Geechee and Rum gave us one of the best battles last year, and they on teams. So I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is the way Surf, his energy, the way Surf is, I feel like once he gets to know a person's style, it's going to be almost like an unfair advantage. And that's just me thinking out loud, you know what I mean? But I just feel like it's not going to be as good of a battle because Surf knows too much about Easy to make it as good of a battle as it would have been if they were not on squads. And that's just my opinion.
And this is my rebuttal to that. Have you ever heard Easy the block captain talk? Because I guarantee you, within any face-off, within a minute, Surf is going to say
it's over.
Shit that Easy not going to like, and Easy is going to say a lot of shit that Surf is not going to like.
Fact.
A face-off solves all of that. Like
fact.
Yo, talk to him.
It's over. That battle is going to go through the roof. They listen, battle rap is about shit talking. Who does it the best? That's what you got at this table right now. Two of the best shit talkers in this game. Once the face-off happens, bro, whatever they wrote before that is getting scrapped. They writing some vicious shit after that.
Talk.
It's over.
We might not want to do that. We might not want to do that. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna be a big battle regardless. It's definitely gonna be a big battle. It's gonna be a headline battle for sure. I'm gonna watch it. I want to see it for sure. It's just not the next battle I want to see from Easy. I would prefer his next battle to be Calico on Summer Madness, but it might happen in Philly card. So I don't know, but I just still feel like Calico is a better battle right now for Easy than Surf is.
I actually got a battle we can speak about. Sorry, I don't want to cut nobody else.
I think Easy going against Surf would be perfect for the back end of this, year. I think
that compendium would be crazy though. I'm telling you right now, if I did a Sue Surf Easy to block cap the compendium and put the stats out there, listen, Hollow's a chill dude, Avid's a chill dude. Let me put up a graphic between Easy and Surf right the fuck now. It's off.
They both pulling
oh
up.
My God.
I'm
letting you know.
This is fact.
Choice words.
This is
I
fact.
got a battle for you.
Talk to me.
John the Don and Jay Black.
Before we move on, I don't want to make this about that, but if we did a compendium on Jay Black versus John, it'd be 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, all in my category. So we can skip that. Let's skip that, please. That's easy work. That's light work. That's a 30. That's a 30 piece. Shout out to John, respectfully, but it's a 30. It's a 30 all the way through. Next though, next.
Man, I want to see Black battle again, bro.
Next.
I want to see him. He had bars.
I just watched.
He had bars for him and Ace.
Yeah, we about to do a compendium for Black for his birthday, bro. So
Is it
birthday today, bro?
Is it Jay Black or is it Jagged J though?
I can't speak to that.
Is it Jay Black we speaking of, or is it Jagged J?
How dare you speak Jay Black name?
Right.
Jagged J.
Jagged J.
You can't. You don't accuse me of that, man. That's not me.
Yo, I got a battle only because I watched the video today, and this might be out of left field, and I hope at some point we talk about this, because this is the battle I want to see, because I want to see on a return Twerk versus Briz, bro. That's the battle
I want about to pull up.
New Jersey Twerk versus Briz Ross Steve.
But hold on.
That would be great.
He just requested. He's here now. Hold on. But I want to say this right now. If you part of the Patreon, you seen Briz say what he said. Like Briz, I don't think Briz want to battle Twerk. I don't think Briz want to battle Hitman. He wants to battle people with smokes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, based on what he said, you can see right now if you want a Patreon, Briz wants Murder Mook or Sue Surf. People that he has a genuine disdain for. That's who he wants to battle. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's to be honest, I did watch the video, and that's why I kind of wanted even more than I originally did, because I was like, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I just want to see Briz back against anybody. So the first chance we get to go over a Briz battle, that's fine. But I in terms of not realistic, because whatever. But in terms of battles that are possible going forward. I guess I don't really have another person in mind, but I want to see what everyone thinks Who's the next? What's the next big battle for A Ward? Because I think that's
Is
He got a
they
GTX
said,
performance coming.
They said Big K. They said Big K. They
Yeah,
said
Big
Big K
K.
and A Ward may be like a GTX situation.
Hopefully. Or Max Out 3.
That's gonna be on Max Out 3. That's a Max Out 3 battle.
Max Out 3.
Max
yeah,
Out,
yeah.
yeah.
We want to see A Ward and Twerk. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. If you keep it a buck with you.
We do, but the URL contract situation ain't right for A Ward. We already know this.
They,
we know what's go behind the scenes, but that's what we really want. We really want that, But shout out to our.
Well, I guess I mean, not to go too off track, but this is something I talk about a lot with the homies when we just be chilling. Like, let's say you book an A Ward on URL, right? Like, and do you just give him whoever he wants, or like do you put him again? Like how do you I feel like there's no more difficult battle to book than A Ward's debut on URL. I think that's the most difficult battle.
Big K.
I'll give him if he was coming to URL, I'll give him a mid-tier battler.
I think he's kind of stepped out. Some of the battlers have said it. I think he's beyond necessarily a mid-tier, but I also don't think he's going to come in like debut versus Surf or one of like the biggest branded battlers. But T-Top and Av have both said they'd be willing to take that battle. I
feel like
more so with T-Top, that's a perfect match.
We're going back to square one. Hold on. I feel like for this conversation, I rock with A-Ward heavily, but we're going back in a fucking hole to like years ago. You gotta think this conversation was 2020. And I feel like, shout out to A-Ward. A-Ward's been on Champion, and I feel like URL has spoken. It's like, is that going to happen realistically? The progression in their conversation has not, there hasn't been a progression in their conversation. So, I don't even see that happening. Yeah.
All right, respectfully then.
It's time wasted to me.
You mind if I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, so real quick, last thing on that. I feel like at this point, it's up to us as fans of the culture to really put the pressure on Smack and Bees, because it's really up to them to be able to offer him the type of contract that will make him come over. It's really nothing else A-Ward can do. Like, what else can he do to, like, quote-unquote prove that he needs to be over there? It's really up to Smack and Bees or whoever is going to write the contract, and just get a man a 3-battle contract and stop trying to make him exclusive with nothing to show, because that's why he's not coming over there. So I'm going to end it with that. We can move on.
I think A-Ward's stance is he does not want a contract, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so too. I think so too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he wants brand exclusivity, so he can go battle anywhere when he wants.
All he said was they hadn't called him, and he'd be open to negotiate, but they got to call him. So can't keep.
Yeah, but see, open to it. If you know anything about URL, he's not going to just pick 3 names and they're going to give him 3 names. They're going to give him talent that they want to see get a shot, talent that they think is on his level, which I'm sure A-Ward's going to disagree. Yeah. And they're not going to meet in the middle on that stance. You're going to battle who they want you to battle under their terms. I think there's a lot in there that's like it's not going to meet up, and I think that's why it's taking so long.
Hold on, I made you a speaker, bro. I'm not sure what's going on.
Negotiations. It's all part of negotiation.
I had one battle that we kind of bring to mind to kind of go back to like the Compendium. I know one of you guys mentioned JC and Lux, but I think the more realistic, like upcoming battle that could happen is JC versus Surf. I feel like that's a Summer Madness battle waiting to happen. I feel like, and again, they've had back and forth for years. When Surf got out of jail in 2018, there was 3 people that he said was making noise. It was Chess, but he started messing up. It was Nitty after the Iron battle, and it was JC up until the T-Top and Twerk battles. So I feel like Surf has actually been eyeing JC longer than we think he has or whatever. So I think JC and Surf is probably the more realistic like upcoming battle that could happen on Summer Madness. Because I feel like Surf has been eyeing him for so long, and JC's been like really like yearning for like this major name, whether it's Verb, whether it's Lux, whether it's Surf, and I feel like Surf is going to step outside for JC, and I feel like that's going to be a huge battle. And I would love to do a compendium in that regard because we have two very distinct styles. And we know that Surf is like the main big stage guy, right? But but we're also understanding that JC is becoming like, a master of the stage as well too. So it'll be very interesting to see like where the who checks what boxes and stuff like that.
I agree with that, but the reason why I said Lux instead of Surf is because we kind of already know how the compendium is going to look with JC and Surf. I mean, we can kind of just look at them and eyeball them and say, okay, JC's going to win this one, Surf's going to win this one. I feel like with Lux, it would be a more in-depth thing where we would have to take more time to think about the answers and really study the analytics after that. With Surf, I just feel like it'll be it's pretty cut and dry. We're going to see how the compendium is going to go and how people are going to go with predictions. So that's the only reason why I would say Lux over Surf.
It's probably going to look something just like Hollow and Av.
In favor of who?
The only reason I won't put JC and Lux over JC and Surf just because the simple fact we've been asking for Daylight and Lux for so long, and we finally got a month. Like, it's December. That's the month it's happening. So
well, they said it was December.
So we sit here waiting again. That's the only reason for me that I will put JC and Loaded Lux in the back burner, because it's kind of like getting close to that Daylight and Loaded Lux battle. We got a confirmed month.
Right, hey, listen, I respect it, bro. I respect it. Like I say, I'm a JC guy, so I'm going to fall back. If y'all agree like that, hey, I'll step back. But I'm a JC guy.
Daylight versus Loaded Lux. Who wins, Jay Black?
Huh? You said something?
Versus Daylight.
You on the hot seat, Jay Black?
I'm on a hot. What happened? Huh? I want to say this has been a wonderful show so far, and it's just so dope that battle rap can be talked about at this level and this magnitude. Huh? Somebody says, what happened?
Yeah, I got a question. What about
Beloved Hood, nigga?
Oh no!
Yeah, Beloved Hood.
Go with Loaded Lux.
Yeah, what you talking about, man?
I'm not gonna lie, Black does this, and I figured this out. Recent transaction matters about every other battle except for Loaded Lux.
Hold on, what we doing? Hold on, what we doing?
Going off of recent transactions,
What we doing?
His analysis wouldn't be the way it is, but like since it's Loaded Lux, he don't use that same type of terminology and wording.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he loves recent transactions.
I'm gonna let you have that. His
lyrics is different.
I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that. Because if I break it down, it's going to take way too long. So I'm gonna let you have that. You got it. You got that, Chief.
Episode of Champion.
We'll see what happens.
What was nobody want to see Danny and Lux? It's just me.
Yes.
In 2024.
I'm kind of good with that.
I don't think I like the matchup, but I want the battle
2023
for Danny because I think that he deserves that battle. But I don't like the matchup myself.
I don't like the match. I think it would be a good battle. I think it would turn out to be a good battle, but I'm just not too fond about it because it's just like other plates that we want to see Danny and Loaded Lux. That's more. We put more emphasis on.
So we're not gonna talk about this K-Shine and New Jersey twerk joint? Like we're not.
That's champion right there. We got the man in the building. Whoa. Yeah, okay, I just see what happened. I don't know how space is working, but we got champion for that. You're gonna be doing the champion tomorrow on Twerk versus K-Shine. You know what I mean? The man that's in contact with both. We'll have some words, but I don't know if he wants to talk right now. You can say it right now. You're gonna talk about it though. Go ahead though.
What was it? I'm sorry, I'm getting these kids together.
They brought up Twerk and you know what I mean. I spoke to Twerk. They brought up Twerk and K-Shine. So I don't know if you want to give a snippet or how you feel.
What a compendium for Twerk and K-Shine?
We can do that too. We can do that too. But how you feeling though? I mean, what's the word?
I really wish K-Shine was still NWX. I really wanted to see how Anwar would predict.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Difficult situation.
If K-Shine was still NWX?
Yes, affirmative.
What would that have to do with me?
You can't take the red and the blue pill, Anwar.
But if I'm not NWX,
oh wow. Yeah. Now Anwar is not NWX. This is crazy.
Yeah, man. You know, NWX is no more, man. It was a great time in battle rap history.
One thing,
as far as Twerk and Shine, right? I'm gonna put it to y'all like this, right? For the longest, I've said this. I said it on Champion. I've said it to both of them, individually, in private, in public. It was a battle that I kind of never really wanted to see. Both of them are very short-tempered. Both of them are super competitive. And what I think the issue is, where both of them know they would have to go in order to secure the win, both of them would it's gonna push a button for the other one. Shine is gonna have to go into a bag that's gonna piss Twerk off, and vice versa, in order for them to win. And because of knowing how short-tempered they are, you know, I just always saw that battle, you know, just being crazy and nasty. Like,
Anwar, you don't feel like that line has been crossed already?
So we scared of tempers?
Which is why I didn't think, bro. Listen, all right, listen. Full transparency, right? When Twerk was on the Monday Night Show with Daylight last week, right? We was talking ahead of time the whole time. Everything is everything. Hold on one second.
Yeah. I distinctly remember Shine not wanting to battle Twerk, and Twerk was pissed about him not wanting to do it.
Did Shine change his stance?
Some things were said, which is why I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think. So, my bad. I'm sorry. I got a text message as I was talking. So when Twerk went on the show last Monday, I thought he was gonna say a different name. I really did. You know, just based on some other conversation we had, I thought he was gonna say a different name. When Daylight said, "Who you want next?" Nigga said Shine. I said, "Up." My phone buzzed immediately. It was Beasley. Like, I knew what was going on. I thought that they probably need to have a conversation before a battle. But what do I know? Maybe they did. I never asked, because that situation, in my opinion, had gotten a little crazy. That's outside of battle rap.
Right.
I'm Twerk's battle rap manager. That's my real life friend as well. But it's like, that was some of them tweaks and stuff was kind of wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, but if that's where it is, and both of them are willing to do a battle, man, oh man, that's gonna be a crazy one. I don't care what else you put on the card, unless it's Brizz's return. That's your main event, respectfully.
and I think that it's also interesting because, you know, outside of maybe like, because I don't really kind of know like if he holds Surf to the highest regard, but anytime that Twerk goes against someone he like really respects, you know what I'm saying, like really respects, whether it's the JC battle, whether it's the Tay-Rock battle, he takes it to a whole nother level. And we both know that like he respects Shine to the highest degree. You know what I'm saying? Shine is one of his favorite battlers. So I would be very excited at that battle because I know where it will propel Twerk to another level, and I know like that's a battle he can be prepared for.
What happened with Surf?
I said I don't know. Yeah, I said I don't know how much he, you know. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, believe it or not, you know, I guess I could tell this story now. Going into the battle, like, initially we said no. Initially the answer was no when they called us for Surf on the volume. But you know, shout out to you.
The battle happened. Is what it is.
Yeah, shout out to URL.
Right.
They know how to make offers that you cannot refuse. And it was like, oh y'all, okay. And then you know, it happened, but you know, we all know how that battle turned out. It was a nasty battle, and you know, Twerk has said it, and I said it too. You know, respectfully. Hold on one second.
Hold on, I seen. Hold on, let's go back to the Compendium real fast. Before he divulges everything there, do y'all think it's a better to do, instead of 60%, 40%? What if I told y'all to rate this person in this category, right? Like for instance, let's say Av is a 78 in bars, right? It would say, okay, Hollow is 65. Or let's say Av is 95 in bars, I mean, if I do something for that, and then you can say Hollow is 80. Would y'all prefer that as opposed to this?
Yeah, I think that's
Because performance, I feel like people are seeing it.
I like that.
People are seeing that Hollow or Av is a 5. That's not what it says. It's not what we're saying. We're not saying that Hollow is or Av is a 5 in performance. People picked Hollow to Don over Av in that regard. And that's how you get a 5%.
So even if 90% of it had it as an edge, it just
Exactly. It looks different ways. So
I get what you're saying.
Like not to get too into my actual job, but like it depends on the kind of data you want. And I think that data, if you're looking for qualitative data that's actually comparing how good someone is as opposed to what you prefer, you just make it out of 10, and then you just have everybody answer the same rate Hollow's performance from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Rate Av's performance from 1 to 10, and then you compare those averages, which will then give you then the number, instead of saying what it did say, which is what I was talking about earlier, it would say the compendium agrees that in terms of bars, Hollow is a 72 out of 100, but Av is a 94.
Exactly.
Therefore, and then you can make the distinction that says universally people think that, then you can get really, really minute there with the data saying that's basically, so let's say someone has a 40%, like a 4 out of 100, and an 80%. Then that literally means that on average, people think that rapper B is twice as good at that thing as as rapper A. Yeah. So then you're actually getting into actual qualitative data there, which I think is actually a little bit more conducive to what we're trying to, what the objective is. You feel me?
Yeah. I think we said the same thing, but you broke it down better.
Pay the man, Jay Black. Pay that man.
No, I think we said the same thing, but he broke it down a lot better than I just did. But I don't think we agreed on what's the next one. We said we all gave out picks. We should do this person. We should do that. We should do this. But we haven't had an executive decision on what's exactly next. Can we agree on one? Well, we had Loaded Lux versus JC. We had Surf versus Easy. You got
versus Easy.
Yeah, Surf versus Easy.
Yeah, Easy and Cal is my recommendation. I feel like that's imminent.
Easy and Cal.
Yeah.
I say Easy and Cal too.
We do.
If we want to get the culture, like really moving,
yeah,
Briz
and Surf. That's what I'll do. I'll put.
Hold off on that, I think, right?
I mean, anything's possible. Because we're gonna do this a lot of times. You know, it's not gonna be just one time in a blue moon. I'm thinking at least 2, maybe even 4 times a month, possibly. Depends on the workload. But I'll write down all the suggestions in the Patreon, and we just pick from there. Like, it'll be a poll, like, yo, pick Easy versus Surf, pick Cal versus this. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like 5, 6 different things you can pick from, and the one we vote the most on, we'll go with that.
Pat Stay and Goods is a good one too.
I like that.
Yeah, one Pat coming back outside, bro. One Pat coming back outside, like.
Wow. Why does nobody talk about Goods versus Calico? How does that keep getting skipped over?
Because they not talking about it.
Is that even a thing?
They have an interview way back in the day where Goods was like, "I'll smoke Cal." It was like Cal was like young as hell. I remember that interview. It was like on the street corner somewhere.
Nobody
got to see Charlie clips.
Calico spoke on Goods a year ago. I played the clip on Twitter like a few days ago.
I didn't hear it.
I can pull it up. Was that the same old video that Surf was outside, like freestyling, rapping? No. Okay. No, something.
Just share it to the jumbo.
I got you.
And hurry up.
He said, "Hurry up."
Well, if we're not going to talk about JC and Lux, then my vote will be for Easy and Cal. I would definitely go Easy and Cal the next one.
That's
okay.
My vote is for Easy and Cal too.
Easy and Cal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I also vote Easy and Cal.
And it sounds like Easy and Cal.
Are y'all only trying to do? And I'm asking y'all, just y'all opinion. Y'all feel better just going with battles that we know are kind of already right there on the horizon,
as opposed to fantasy matchups?
They can pick whatever they want.
I think at least until we get for me, I think until we like lock down the actual process, I think it's much easier to do battles that we know are going to happen, as opposed to doing until we actually like figure it out, right? Like,
okay.
I don't mind kind of I like the JC versus Loaded Lux, but particularly when we get into matchups like maybe names considering like Briz and Daylight, that there's a possibility that we just go years without it. I feel like that's maybe not go that far out, but I'm not opposed to like a JC Lux or something of that nature where it hasn't been set up, but it's something that we know we could see in the next year or two.
Yeah.
I got one for the females.
Oh shit!
Fantasy battles.
He about to say Jazz is Misfit.
I like
Hell
the
no.
fantasy battles.
He's fucked up.
Jazz and Vixen.
Jazz and Vixen, though.
I'm not mad
I
at
like that.
Yeah, I ain't mad
I
at
like
that.
that.
I like that.
That's fire.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Fire emojis.
Here's a crazy thing.
I like the battle.
I already got the graphics done.
I like the battle.
I already got the graphics done. It's lit.
I like the battles that are in the foreseeable future just because it's going to create dialogue. Like even with the Av and Hollow thing, it created dialogue. By the time that Black is going to do the face-off, right, for whenever they have the battle, there's plenty to talk about.
Oh my God,
like,
it's a lot.
Such have you at this level and this level. They think you're great in this category, yada, yada, yada. How do you feel about that? I feel like this helps build more buzz behind some of the battles if we're able to do like battles that's going to happen in the foreseeable future.
I agree. Fantasy battles do the same thing because some of these battles you didn't even know you wanted until that dialogue gets sparked up. You know what I mean? And then gives the opportunity to push those battles to the forefront as well.
That's a fact, Judge. That's a fact. Hell, hey Jay Black.
Talk to
You
me.
can also possibly do 2-on-2s as well.
That's kind of hard to do though, because it's just systematically. It's like that's gonna be. That's like I don't know.
Okay, the tweet is
I'm good.
it's on the jumbotron.
How do I see it?
It'll reload. Update.
As it's loading, and this, I wanted to suggest a battle, but I actually don't have an idea for the next battle for Chess. Because I think Chess's next plate got to be stupid, bro. Like,
Does it have to be stupid? Does it have to be stupid? Because he got Calico. That was a huge play. I ain't gonna say he got 30, but I will say he did get a grand opportunity against Calico on a big stage, and that was a great moment. So I don't know if it has to be like grandeur, but I do think it has to be like something where obviously a competitive battle for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like when I say, it has to be somebody who is going to produce a great battle. It can't just be like be like Johnny Battleseed. Like,
I honestly want to see Chess in a volume against like a Chilla or something like that. Like I wouldn't be mad at like Chess and Chilla in the volume because I've actually had the privilege of interviewing Chilla. I'm plugging my stuff real quick. Sorry for the shameless plug. But one of the people that Chilla was very adamant about battling was Chess, and he said, and Chilla don't really speak spicy like that. He said that Chess has kind of been avoiding him for years now. So, I wouldn't be mad at like a Chess and Chilla on the volume. And Chess actually does good in small rooms, so I think that would be a good battle for him to take.
Well, yeah, that's where he comes from. We go hard, so yeah, that's in his element. And Chilla's known for being in small rooms. Yeah, that's a storm waiting to happen, bro. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
I heard someone say Chess and B-Dot too, so I think definitely a pen matchup.
I
was gonna say Chess and B-Dot.
Yeah, Bez Machete.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That B-Dot, that rapid fire that B-Dot got, and Chess just breaking you down, like, bruh, that could be one of them.
And Chess is very good at having dialogues. Like, if you look at his battle versus Saga, like, those are 3 masterful rounds. Some of my favorite material that he ever rapped was against Saga. So, if he battles somebody like a B-Dot who's going to force him to, like, get into, like more of that subject matter bag, we're going to see a really good Chess in those type of battles for sure.
Can hold on? Can we double? Real fast. Can we double back to Murder Mook versus Easy? Can that be an option, guys?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That compendium gonna look filthy.
But it's gonna push the matchup though.
No way
It's gonna push the matchup.
It's gonna make Murder Mook.
Yeah, it's gonna look awful for Mook.
But it's gonna make him win a battle. It's gonna make him now what? This is how they feel?
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah, that number's gonna be very disrespectful.
Y'all do Mook and Easy, or y'all do Mook and Briz?
Both of them.
Both of them. Fuck it.
They will be
Both of-
options.
Like, which one would you like? If you do both, like.
We gotta do one. I don't want the conversation to be, too. I want it to be like honed in, like what we talking about, what we discussing. So it won't be as at the best capability if we do both at the same time.
No, I just mean like in general, like.
Oh, I mean, as time progresses, yeah, definitely.
With the other?
I said we do one, and then a week later, or even 2 weeks later, do next one.
All right, then, Black. Which one would you?
Murder Mook and Easy.
All right.
Yeah, Easy kind of deserves that plate because he was dubbed on it by Mook.
I mean, if Briz don't, but Briz don't go.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Briz
Briz for sure. The minute Briz comes back, I don't want to see him against anybody else other than Mook. They have.
Are y'all saying Compendium or Matt? I would want to see Briz versus Mook first, but I want a Compendium.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay, my fault. My fault for saying that. I want Mook versus Briz first, but Compendium.
Briz first. Mook versus Briz first for sure.
I would be more interested in doing a compendium with Murder Mook and Easy.
That's what I'm saying.
Than a compendium with Briz and.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Just because Briz, those are two different type of styles, so obviously it's going to be skewed a certain way. Whereas, believe it or not, I feel like the kind of attack that Mook and Easy have are kind of similar in the way that they try to direct their material towards their opponent. So it'll be very interesting to see, how the categories will, stack up. So I'll be more interested in doing Mook and Easy for a compendium.
So
I actually agree.
Another question would be and again, Rock was talking about it over there with Young Jay Black about the Baltimore event. I think we should look at rematches too.
Talk to me.
I think we should be looking at shit like the Rock with Rock. I'm looking at Rum versus Tay Rock. That's what I'm looking at.
Definitely.
I'm looking
He
at
said
Rum Nitty.
he said that. He said he'll do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like Rock wants all these run backs, bro. Like Rum versus Rock, crazy. Clips versus Rock, crazy.
Nitty and Twerk.
Oh yeah, we need that.
Yeah, Nitty did call out Chess in that video he just dropped too.
He did.
He threw a shot at Chess as well for him.
Damn, I forgot.
Yeah, he battled it.
The kidney
Chess
died.
was terrible.
Yeah.
We need
That
on a young chess.
that Twerk and Rum Nitty, man, that was when that happened, that could have lived up. Like it could have been like real big. That
It was halfway there.
Yo, no, but that scuffle kind of like
it
brought the energy down for that battle. So I would love to see that battle, like a rematch on that.
Bro, I forgot about Rock and JC, bro. What?
He talked about this.
I got bad driving.
Stay tuned for Champion probably tomorrow. Tay Rock talked about these matchups.
He's not. He would have leveled up. He's like, hell no, I got my win. I'm good.
Hold on.
I mean, if you're gonna catch Ill Will slipping, this is the perfect time. Cause Ill Will kind of his last performance.
Oh, here we go.
On RBE was kind of.
No, we're not doing this.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Wait,
We're not
who's that
doing
last RBE? I forget.
Rosenberg Raw.
Oh, okay.
Rosenberg clearly won that battle.
Oh, no.
But he did. But he did have a good battle, good performance against Head Ice. That was a really good battle to me, at least.
Uncle Ice.
Yeah, I want to ask. This could go for Compendium as well, but I want to ask Will versus Hollow or Hitman. I know those were last year; those were big matchups that were brought around, and I didn't know if maybe you guys are interested in those matchups, or B, ever wanted to do a Compendium on them, because I think that they'd be interesting to break down.
Nah, a lot of matches are actually good breakdowns, bro. Like it just depends on like what's going on. Like, will we actually get them in like the next 2 to 3 months?
Yeah, I got a hot take. I got a hot take for that battle. My hot take is that's a mirror match. I would love to see it.
Between who?
Hollow and Ill Will is a mirror match, low-key. I would love to see it.
Hollow had teased about battling Ill Will too after I believe it was the DNA battle. He had posted a bucket hat, my next battle, blah blah blah. Will with the bucket
Yeah, that was supposed
hat.
to be Max
I know
out.
that Will's kind
I'm
of battled
thinking.
himself out of it maybe a little bit, but it's still something that I think would be a great battle.
I agree. I would want to see that, and I think a compendium will be very telling on that battle as well.
Okay, I'll add it to the list.
Yeah,
of options.
I mean, them two are similar. Very
curious when that could even happen. Hollow's been doing a lot of work with URL. Ill Will has been on the RBE side. I'm curious when that would even happen. Hip Hop and Real just dropped an interview while this was going on, saying Smack wants to give a truce to all the leagues. He wants to pull up to some of the leagues. So it could happen. As long as
you said what? You said Smack said what?
RBE is on the list.
He
He said he wants to pull up to some of the leagues. He said, I want to send the truce to all the leagues. He said all leagues. He's like, I'm not exempting no battle rap league. Like you helping move the culture forward.
Smack. You said Smack said that?
Bro, I promise you, hip hop is real. I need to watch.
Smack said what?
It was Drunk Smack.
Was this right after Nose? Because then it don't count. I know. It looked like it was after Nose, so we got to take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, this right after Nose.
That was inebriated Smack.
But how crazy would it be we get Hollow and Ill Will and you got ARP and Smack right next to each other?
Hey, yo, I would love to see that.
It would be dope, but
That'd be crazy.
Well, I don't know.
That one is crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. We probably get to see Young Gil and Khan before we get to see that.
Ah!
So I'm just keeping it 100.
That's crazy. As much as I care about it bridging the gap for contracts and certain people battling on both leagues.
Wait, y'all ain't see Young Ill versus Kanye?
We allowed to answer that live, or?
I mean,
Bodied him, man. Clear. It was clear.
I'm mad. I heard it accidentally got uploaded like a year ago, and I missed it.
What? Damn.
Yeah.
I don't want to holler at me, man. You know, maybe I can talk to people for you.
And nobody I know actually screen recorded that shit.
I've only seen it in portions from what people leak, but I've never seen that battle front to back. I've seen maybe a round and a half. That's just putting it all together backwards.
Listen, we can move on.
Well, Perry allowed to vote before they let that out.
Yo, you gotta chill.
We can move on.
You gotta chill, bro.
We can move on. No, but the last thing I want to talk about is not even talk about. The next thing we got to go through is the 2K rating. That's when shit gets real. What's the next battle rapper that we're gonna run through that process? So when you seen the JC graphic,
double work. It should be whoever one of the battlers that we're doing the next compendium on to keep it a buck.
Talk to me.
I would love to do one on Cal. I think Calico would be, and I know that kind of fits what he just said. If we do Easy versus Cal next, but yeah. I feel like there's a lot of legacy there, but also without being like a 60 to 70 battle legacy. We're talking 30, 35 battles. A lot of them are very known and prominent. So yeah. I think that would be a good starter up for us.
I agree with Cal just because it's he has a lot of intangibles, so it'll be very kind of hard to kind of rate certain things because a lot of his rapping or whatever is you can't really say his styles are so unique to where I think the rating will kind of just be very interesting to see how it all stacks up. Yeah. I'll be interested in doing Cal too, just because he has a lot of intangibles. And I don't play with the ratings. This is not gonna be freestyle. I don't play with this. So if I tell y'all we're gonna do Calico, you probably got a month to really figure out how you want to judge it, how you want to break down his style or his battles. You're gonna have a month in advance, and when we talk about it, we gotta be on point. Ain't no missteps, nothing. Everything that we say gotta be on. This is someone rating they're gonna have for an entire year. Yeah. He can't change this. If it's 85 or it's 96, whatever it is, you can't change that for another whole year. That's what they are, and you gotta think about it too, because you gotta think, okay, we're doing Calico, right? But then when it's time to do a different battle rapper, you look, why he got a better rating than it? You had one chance, and it's not based off the next battle rapper, in a sense. But you gotta think about everybody when you think about this.
I don't know how much of y'all in here are familiar with battle rap media, but the fans, the venom from the fans.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Unreal.
So tread carefully. Your name will be attached to it too.
Ain't nobody worried about the fans.
Just saying.
Now this is a logistical question. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't know a better way to ask this question. Yeah. So let's say for example we do Calico next, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you got a month, but you got a real life situation, whatever it is. I'm assuming we have the ability to step out and be like, hey, yo, I'm not going to contribute to a particular battle.
That's fine. That's fine.
Due diligence.
That's fine.
I just want to make sure that
you definitely can step out.
That's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. You can step out.
I don't want my name. If I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, I don't want my name to be on calendar. It won't be adding me.
Yeah. He said my name must be at it. I don't want that parts of that smoke.
And Black, I got a question. Is this judge? I believe that I saw the one that was like 3 levels. Like there was like analyst, legacy, and one others. Is this how we're? This is for the 2K rating, correct?
This is for the 2K. Yes, sir.
So we're not doing like individual numbered statistics, are we? Like for instance, everything that you had for the compendium between Hollow and Av. Do we need to give, if we did Cal, a number for each statistic, or are we just doing like?
I might just add that to it, just for for research purposes. It's add to like the the overall process of it. Why not? More data.
It's harder if everyone to do each category, but I'm with it. I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I think the legacy part most definitely was a great aspect because I feel like it's a great way to show that like while they not be of a high regard now, at one point in time they were very foundational or very like vital piece of the movement and stuff like that. I would be very interested to do people like B Magics, the Big T's or whatever, because legacy wise, you know what I'm saying, the legacy score may be good, but obviously now, you know what I'm saying, they kind of fell from grace a little bit. So I'm very interested to do like, see how the ratings end up, coming out for certain people.
Okay.
I have a battle for Compendium.
Talk to me.
I tuned out for a battle. I don't know if y'all said it, but y'all say Hitman and Geechee?
Yeah, I had said it. I had said it at the beginning, but Hitman said he don't know if he want to do it or was something happening in between. But I said it at the beginning.
No, Hitman is a star. His price is his price. That's what it comes down to.
No, I thought Black said that he's doing battles that could possibly happen that we want to see happen. What's it happen or not?
Yeah, for sure. If we doing like that, for sure, I would see Hitman and Geechee over everybody.
I think style-wise, they kind of have similar styles. It's opposite sides for obvious reasons.
Hey, J-Black, I got a question.
Talk to me.
All right. So how this leaderboard is being? I understand that you're going to be tallying wins and losses, but how are you going to go about that? Like, are you going to just choose like a certain card and we just predict that card, or are you going to choose certain matchups?
I want to say anything that's major. Sometimes a card has like 3 battles that's major, and it's like the rest is you're not going to be tuned in like that for any league, right? Major battles. If it's a major battle that we like, like everybody's in tune to, that's paid, that can reassure that everybody watch that shit. Everybody don't watch, Reed Dollars versus A. Everybody watch that shit. This whole Gnome card, everybody watch that shit. I want to do battles that we just know that everybody saw.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's no offense. It's no offense to any league or any other battlers, but I just want to do battles that I know that everybody saw. That's all I'm saying.
I have one question pertaining to like I remember you mentioned that there'll be like a leaderboard in terms of like if you get your predictions right or whatever. Will there also be like a little bit of like a thing where like the person with the best prediction at the end of the year or whatever, like they get like maybe not a trophy, but like some type of recognition or whatever, like this guy was
I figured it out.
5%, 80% accurate rate.
I figured it out. If they so choose to accept this mission, the person with the number 1 leaderboard, champion of the year panel, talk to me.
Ooh, that's good.
You pulling up in person, you know what I'm saying, champion of the year panel. But if that's something that everybody doesn't like, I'll figure something else out. But I think that's dope.
I'm shooting for the top 20. I'm telling you right now. So
that shouldn't be that hard. You should be like top 5, top. You know what I mean? Top 3. You shoot for the top 20. That's not that hard.
No, because you said J Black, you only showing the top 20.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna pop up in the top 20, and then I'm gonna work my way down the food chain.
Okay.
Eventually, I'm gonna be number 1.
Say less.
All right, and then hear me out, right? Whoever get last, not allowed to battle rap for a month. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hella wrong.
You choppy there, bro. What'd you say?
Say it again.
All right, I said, on the blender.
Say it again. Go ahead.
think he said whoever did last has to stop watching battle rap for a month or something like that.
Yeah, it's not that.
Oh, that's not good. Damn, I don't know about
I
that.
can't participate in that.
Nah, I can't. I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
no, I can't. We can't say that. We can't say. We can
I
only
got
listen.
way too much going on.
If you doing bad, we just don't mention you. If you doing good, you know you top 5. That's simple as that.
I was my bad. I was trolling.
Okay.
I just want to say, Rosh Koza boy, my bad. Sorry to interrupt. I meant to get up here earlier when y'all was talking about Av and Hollow.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, not only is Hollow gonna beat Av, I got him 3-0.
You came at the perfect time because we damn near done. But for you to say the 30 piece,
I got a 30.
Talk to me. Go ahead.
When I've seen Av go against people that do have angles, his punches don't usually hit the same. I'll compare it to somebody who kind of has the same style in writing B-Dot. When B-Dot went against Av was still good. He was still Av. Punches were still there. But when B-Dot went, it was like, it didn't look the same. It didn't hit the same.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Can I ask you a question? Are you comparing B-Dot to Hollow the Don?
Yeah.
Style?
Yeah, because B-Dot has said multiple times that he tries to write on the level like Hollow and Diz do, how they will have like maybe 128 bars and jump from in and out of schemes and stuff like that. He said that multiple times. So he tries to do that kind of how Hollow does. Which is what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say a small room. B-Dot is different than a stage Hollow. Like a small room B-Dot is low key like very hard to beat and a little bit more dangerous than like a big stage Hollow. Because we just said that Hollow has these spurts where he lands but he doesn't. You put B-Dot in a small room where he can get through all his material and get through all his angles efficiently. That's a different type of battle than battling Hollow on the stage where Av can, perform and do all this other stuff. So I don't know if that's quite a fair comparison. But I get what you're saying in terms of sometimes an angler can neutralize a puncher. But I don't know if that's a fair comparison because
especially
I feel like
the way Hollow does it. Like Hollow got on stage at Gnome and Lil Bro Geechee. Like people like to talk about how Hollow hasn't been good, but when he does do good, when he is like Hollow the Don that we remember, his first 2 rounds for Geechee were, this reminds me of that Hollow versus Pat when I feel like it's the best Hollow he's ever done. Like
I thought Hollow got into pockets, and I was very impressed with this Geechee performance. But I'm one of the few people that don't think that he clearly won. I edged him to battle, but I don't think he clearly won. And there was still a little bit of rust in certain points. I can see certain points where he was still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. But he just was able to land in certain pockets more often than not in that particular battle. I don't think there was as many dry spots.
That's always been Hollow's writing style, though. You can go back to any battle he's ever done. That same with Diz. When they write so much that
they write in sequence
what the crowd is liking. So if you like this, I'm gonna go into this. That's why he did the whole resume thing. That was just they weren't messing with what he had before. I forgot what the line was he had right before that. And then he went, you want to talk about resumes? They write kind of defensively because they want to know, they want to go on every angle you might talk about because I may have something for that.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I understand that he's been writing that way. But I'm saying even as of late, it seems like there's a little bit of uncertainty because he doesn't know what's going to land and what is. Even in his interviews, he says he's still trying to figure out what works. You know what I'm saying? Whereas back then it was just he has a bunch of different things that this could work, but this could be more effective. This situation is more of he's trying to figure out what works in general. Because now you can kind of see he started to gain comfortability towards the back end of the first. Because it took him a while to heat up a little bit.
Okay, I got a question. Are you standing on Hollow 3-0 gentleman or Dirty 30?
I'm not gonna say yeah. I'm not gonna say Av is gonna get tired like Danny does. Or I'm saying he's still gonna put up a fight.
So basically a gentleman's 30.
It'll be. I'm gonna say a clear 30. I'm gonna say a clear 30. Edge. I mean, not Edge. Av might definitely. It may look real good, but Hollow 30. And I'll stand on that.
That's his opinion. That's not. That's his opinion. I can't get mad at an opinion.
You could probably argue that he did versus B-Dot or DNA, but also I just think that I don't know if Hollow showed on a big stage. I mean, he technically 30 shine, but it was a bit default. I don't think that battle was really good on either side. I can't see a good Av getting 30 in any situation.
Well, when is it good on your side?
When the last time we see Av get 30? Period.
Hollow and not Hollow. B-Dot and what you call it?
B-Dot 30
DNA.
Av?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I edged Av the third. I did. But I can't see the case for B-Dot edging that third because he had the angle. And sometimes and then my thing is like the thing about B-Dot is that his angles either hit or they don't. More often than not, it does. But there's certain topics that he touch on that are like very touching, and people either like it or they don't. So that's one of those rounds where it's just like that could be a preference round to somebody. So I wouldn't say like it's an overtly 30. Like it's a clear 30. But I can understand a case for it.
Okay. If I remember B-Dot's third round correctly, that was the whole thing he went on about Av being almost 40, being in a battle rap group. And yeah, that was probably the clearest round to me. If that was
most of that round was about, what I'm saying, like the vaccine mixing in with the food administration, him catching COVID and stuff like that. That was pretty much the nucleus. I'm about to say that was the nucleus of the third round, which I think is a good approach and how he was able to tie it into Av. But I think I preferred Av's direct approach in talking to B-Dot. But I feel like B-Dot got the first 2 rounds clear though.
I didn't like the angle Av took. I hate the whole you play football, so you're not a gangster. That's weird. That's the same reason why T-Top got 30 because he tried to do that. It didn't work at all.
Yeah, Av kind of figured that out like on like interviews prior, like after that he was just like, hey, I'm just gonna kind of like get back to what I'm doing. He kind of was like trying something against the B-Dot that angle, and to be honest, it just did not land.
Yeah, and my thing is with Hollow, I don't think you can beat Hollow with just straight punches because anybody that's tried that has lost. And Av isn't a very effective angler. When he does do angles, they fall flat.
So his third round
with just punches.
So his
Hollow with just punches.
And I was gonna often.
And I was gonna ask. So does Av's third round against Danny not like was that not an angle? Was that not effective in the back end of the battle?
Or you said Av's third versus Danny.
Yeah, was that not effective in the battle?
I honestly don't.
The fruits of your labor bar was one of his best bars tied in with an angle, and I feel like Av.
Labor bar was crazy.
So I'm saying, like you can't say Av doesn't have angles. I can name another situation.
I didn't say he
like
doesn't.
even though it's effective when he knows like the right approach to take. Like even if you want to, yes, he won that round.
Clearly.
Clear.
Yeah,
I had to win first and third.
Danny mailed that third in, bro.
I wouldn't say he mailed it in, but he most definitely elongated the concept.
But I mean, to me, it's like this is what I have is like, bro, you did that for your whole round. You mailed it in, bro. You better write it in there. We're not doing that. Mailed it in.
And then even if you don't want to talk about like that, right? Even though like I feel like he lost this battle too. I still liked his third round for T-Top when he talked to T-Top a little bit in that round, and I still like the round he had for Fonz. And his third round against Fonz. So there are moments where he can take an approach and it can land because he has the conviction behind it. You know what I'm saying? I think the B-Dot battle, what harmed him was he tried to do that for 3 rounds. If he tries to hone in on like one particular topic and try to maximize like, you know what I'm saying, that particular topic in 1 round instead of trying to elongate it for 3, it could be effective.
Yep.
I agree with everything he said. So
yeah,
I'm trying to pull somebody up.
You're wrong in that. I gotta see it to believe it because I feel like most people that try to do the angles on Hollow now, they've been done at such a high level that you do that angle so much, and it's like Math did it the first time effectively, probably the most effectively. First time you heard it, wow, shock factor. And then Rum tried to do it, and it was like, all right. And Sean tried to do it, and it was like, all right,
And
here we go again. And then DNA did it, and it was like, okay, this is cool again. And then Geechee did it, and it was like, we don't want to hear this shit. Like, I get it. So Av is not gonna make it that much more. Oh my God, how did he think of that?
But he doesn't have to though. He's dynamic in other things.
He kind of does.